A city stands still. In the heart of Savannah, Georgia, where the scent of marsh salt and fresh-baked bread weaves through the cobblestone streets, a single act of violence set a city ablaze. It was 6 a.m. on a Tuesday when Clara Thompson unlocked the gate of her bakery, Rise and Bloom, on Bay Street. The morning was quiet, the kind where delivery trucks hum and old men bicker over chess at Harper's Diner. But today something felt off. A white Chevy pickup lingered too long across the street. Before Clara could turn the key, 3 masked men leapt out, their boots hitting the pavement like thunder. One grabbed her hair, slamming her face into the concrete. Another sprayed red paint across her storefront. "You don't belong." The third stomped her right hand, her baking hand, her teaching hand twice. Her screams echoed, but Bay Street was empty. A homeless man threw a bottle, shouting, but the truck was gone before he could cross the road. Clara wasn't just a baker. For 5 years, she'd run Rise and Bloom, famous for pecan rolls and her habit of slipping extra cookies to kids who looked hungry. She taught cooking classes for teens on probation, mentored girls from the projects, and always had a smile for the regulars. Born in Yamacraw Village, she was Savannah's daughter. Now, she lay bleeding, her hand shattered, her bakery defaced. By noon, grainy security footage hit the internet, racking up millions of views. The city held its breath. Who were these men? What did they want? And what would happen next? The hospital room smelled of antiseptic and fear. Clara's assistant, Lena Harper, paced outside, clutching her phone. When Clara woke, her left eye swollen shut, she whispered, "Keep the kids out of the kitchen." Even in pain, she thought of others. Her hand was a mess, shattered bones, maybe pins, maybe plates. Lena fought tears. "They tried to break you, Clara," she said. Clara stared at the ceiling. "They tried." Outside, Savannah simmered. Rise and Bloom was taped off, red paint bleeding through yellow police lines. Neighbors brought candles, flowers, and signs. A man in a chef's apron scrubbed the graffiti, muttering, "This won't come off easily." By nightfall, the city was raw. No one said it, but the question hung heavy. Was this the start of something bigger? The news called it a possible hate crime. Online, it was terrorism. Comments exploded, some called it fake, others demanded blood. In a packed community center, Reverend James Carter gripped the pulpit. "They expect us to take it, clean it up, and stay quiet." Not this time. Lena stood, holding Clara's scarf. They didn't just attack her. They attacked everything she built. Across the street, a man watched, silent. His name was Marcus Gray. Once, he'd run Savannah's streets with the West Side Lions, a crew feared from Charleston to Jacksonville. After a RICO case and a double homicide tied to his name, he'd vanished. Now he was back. That night, he posted a video from a cracked iPhone in a backyard. No music, no edits, just Marcus, a cigarette in hand, 5 men behind him. "You come for ours, we come for yours," he said, eyes locked on the lens. 35 seconds. By morning, it was everywhere, shared, debated, feared. Some called it a threat, others a promise. Savannah PD's chief, Daniel Holt, urged calm in a sweaty press conference, dodging Marcus's name, dodging white supremacists. Lena watched from Clara's room. "That's it," she snapped. Clara didn't answer, her eyes on the TV's scrolling banner. Racially motivated incident. The city shifted. At a gas station, a man linked to the Iron Cross, a known hate group, was jumped. No arrests, no witnesses. Rumors flew. West Side's moving. Community centers canceled programs. A soul food joint took down its sign, fearing it was next. Tension hummed like a live wire. At a dive bar, Marcus's old friend, Tommy Reed, sipped a beer. A reporter asked, "Why'd Marcus post that?" Tommy smirked. "Because they forgot who we are. You keep knocking us down, we get back up." The bartender, a white woman in her 60s, warned, "Be careful with that talk." Tommy didn't blink, just remembering. Behind Clara's bakery, kids painted a mural, her name in bright letters, a crown above. An old man muttered, "That won't stop nobody." A boy turned, "We're not stopping them. We're saying she's ours." Clara and Marcus had history, though few knew it. Years ago, in a rundown community kitchen, a 19-year-old Marcus, angry and lost, met Clara, then 25, fresh from culinary school. She was volunteering, teaching teens to cook. Marcus's parole officer forced him to show up. He stood in the back, arms crossed. until Clara handed him a bowl. "Ever made cornbread?" she asked. He scoffed, but he mixed. She taught him to chop onions without tears, to listen to the pan. "I never met a woman like you," he said once quietly. "You probably did," she replied. "You just weren't listening." He stopped coming after trouble pulled him away. Clara kept baking. They never crossed paths again until his video. In the hospital, Clara stared at a photo of herself, flour on her nose, laughing. Lena brought lemon drops. "You remember that boy from the kitchen?" Clara asked, her voice hoarse. "He's not quiet now." Lena nodded. "People say he's doing it for you." Clara looked out the window, pain meds clouding her thoughts, but something deeper ached. Down in Yamacraw, Jamal Carter, a 17-year-old whom Clara had mentored, told a podcaster, "She gave me my first apron. Said I'd cook or starve. I burned everything, but she never let me quit." Asked about Marcus's video, he shrugged. Clara didn't need soldiers. She needed us to show up. Then, a new strike. A leaked telegram photo showed a white man, bloodied, slumped by the train depot, an iron cross patch on his jacket. Rumors said he was one of Clara's attackers. Savannah PD called it a non-fatal assault. No one bought it. In a sandwich shop, West Side Lions old heads met. Terrence O.G. Brooks, arm in a sling, sipped tea. Marcus paced. "They drew first blood," he said. "Her hand won't work right again." Terrence slammed the table. "We don't set the city on fire. Hit smart, not bloody." But the lines were drawn. Churches held tense meetings. Pastors, black and white, sipped coffee, unsure whether to pray or prepare. Reverend Sarah Mills stood. "They hit the idea of her, of us. Do we protect her legacy or burn it in her name?" A package arrived at Rise and Blumno return address. Inside, a photo of 5 men with a Confederate flag, a note saying, "This ain't over. Stay gone," and a .22 caliber round. A 13-year-old mural painter, Zion, found it. Clara, still in the hospital, dictated a message through Lena for a podcast. "I was born 3 blocks from my bakery. I got flour in my blood, heat in my hands. Fear won't move me." It went viral. 3 days later, a firebomb hit the old rec center where West Side Lions once met. Empty, but the message was clear. An off-duty firefighter, white, was jumped near Waters Avenue, with red bandanas on his attackers. He claimed they said, "Tell your people to stay quiet." No arrests. Headlines screamed. Racial tensions explode. Marcus watched the news in a repair shop. "We bleed, they blink," he said. A younger man, Devin, paced. "They torch our places and we wait." Marcus's eyes hardened. "Build something. Make them come to you." Clara typed a letter with one hand. "I don't want anyone hurt because of me, but I won't apologize for staying alive." It spread on shirts, tattoos. In a warehouse, men with military haircuts and walkie-talkies planned, photos of Clara pinned to a map. On Sunday morning, churches overflowed. At Liberty Baptist, Pastor Henry paused his sermon. Clara's face appeared on screen, bruised but steady. "They attacked the idea that someone like me could build something and not apologize. I don't want revenge. I want the truth. I want these men named, charged. I want our kids to walk without fear." The crowd wept. That afternoon, hundreds marched to City Hall, teens with signs, elders arm in arm, chefs passing out peach pies. Marcus joined, holding a sign, "We protect what they try to erase." No one stopped him. Councilwoman Edith Ramsey, long cautious, spoke out. "We have a hate group in our backyard. We've pretended too long." "Clara, you started a conversation we can't ignore." That night, Clara watched from her bed as Lena scrolled her phone. "Scholarship fund in your name hit $30,000, Lena said. Clara exhaled. The kids need it. Then, a twist. Marcus was arrested for inciting violence, based on his video. No warrant, just a tip. He was cuffed at his cousin's garage, unarmed, sipping tea. A crowd formed outside the precinct. No chance. Just bodies under streetlights. Clara paced her room. "For what?" she asked Lena. "Stirring the pot," Lena replied. That night, Johnson Square lit up with candles, signs, and a teenage girl shouting, "You arrest Marcus for words, but not one man who broke Clara's hand?" By morning, the mayor fumbled a press conference, claiming it wasn't retaliation. No one believed him. Behind closed doors, Clara's mother, Beatrice Thompson, 64, and Marcus's sister, Kayla, met with activists. Beatrice cut through the noise. Y'all want to break windows? That gets our boys buried. Get Marcus out, hold him accountable, but don't burn this city down. Hours later, Marcus was freed, no press, no apology. He stepped out to find neighbors with paint rollers at Rise and Bloom. A man handed him one. Help clean her shop? Marcus dipped it in white. Clara returned to Rise and Bloom, arm in a sling, steps slow. Lena and Jamal held the door. Inside, counters gleamed, plexiglass replaced broken windows, and the mural now a portrait of Clara with still rising above. Marcus mopped in the back, head down. You missed a spot, Clara teased. He grinned. You still got jokes. Neighbors gathered not for drama, but for muffins, for normal. Clara opened the door. Cheers erupted. A reporter asked, will you press charges if they're caught? Clara looked up. I plan to live. I've got cornbread to bake. The investigation still led no arrests, leads cold. But Savannah changed. Community patrols formed, unarmed, watching schools and shops. Marcus and Jamal started a mentorship program in Clara's kitchen, teaching kids to bake and organize. Edith Ramsey secured funding for hate crime prevention, eyeing the burned-out rec center as a community hub. Online, trolls and hate groups lingered, but Savannah didn't bite. They built instead. One night, Marcus approached Clara at the counter. I owe you, he said, for reminding me what matters. She shook her head. Just stay steady. A week later, Clara spoke at Yamacraw Community Garden. No notes, just truth. When I was 10, my dad said, if you're in a fire, stand still. Let them see what tried to burn you. They tried to erase me, but I'm here. Thysis together is what they didn't plan for. She scanned the crowd. Marcus, Jamal, Lena, Edith. Justice didn't apologize. It never does unless we drag it into the light. I'm not a hero. I'm a woman who knows her worth. Know yours, because someone will price your silence. A boy shouted, we ain't quiet. The crowd roared. Clara slipped away with Lena and Beatrice. In the car, Beatrice smiled. That was a sermon, baby. Clara leaned back. Just truth. Across town, Marcus sat with his nephew. She meant us, too? The boy asked. Especially us, Marcus said. Clips of Clara's speech spread not for fame, but because people saw themselves in it. A judge reopened an Iron Cross case. One suspect fled. A nonprofit, Fire and Faith, launched in Clara's name, offering therapy and grants for women hit by hate. Rise and Bloom's menu added resilience rolls, baked with pain, served with pride. Clara stood behind her counter, wrapping pastries with a stiff hand. A new customer approached. You're the woman from the video? Clara smiled. I'm the woman with the muffins. She meant it. Rise and Bloom wasn't just a bakery, it was proof you could get knocked down and rise louder than ever. What do you think? Should Clara have pushed harder for arrests, or was rebuilding enough? How would you face violence and injustice in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about what it means to stand up, fight smart, and build something unbreakable.